Welcome to Game Club, part 2 of the week. This is episode 10, and also we forgot to mention in the part 1 that the game coming next week that we'll be playing for Game Club will be Mother Russia Bleeds, so I want to make sure I mention that up front. But more important than that even is CitizenCon 2016 has happened. It's technically still happening, but we got the gist of it. We listened to most of it. We wanted to get this video going because it was getting late because... Man, CitizenCon goes on and on and on. It's the gift that keeps on sort of giving.
And it was like an hour and a half just thanking the community.
Yeah, right? They were really happy for their community. I think the biggest news, though, was that the lead mind behind PC Master Race's biggest game is a console peasant. Did you hear that?
He just said he plays Uncharted 4.
Yeah,
he didn't say he plays it on console.
I'm just saying, you guys need to look to new leaders, I think.
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer?
Yeah.
Okay, so
man.
What's nice about this little panel we have going on here is, as far as I'm concerned, I'm neutral to Star Citizen. I can respect it, but I haven't played any of its alpha builds, and I don't.
Because you're a console gamer.
And at this point, I don't. I mean, I play PC games, but at this point, I don't plan on playing Star Citizen. You know, not unless something major changes. You are sort of more on the fence. You're more interested in it. You like PC games probably a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
You'll probably end up playing it. I don't know how much. And then we have Chris, who's the fan.
I'm a true believer.
He is a believer. A Star Citizen believer. So, Chris, let's start with you since you're the believer. Like, how was this conference for you?
You know, I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but
you're disappointed.
Well, when the Planetary Tech version 2 looks amazing.
Yeah.
But I want to be playing it already.
Yeah.
I'm impatient. And they showed us some awesome Planetary Tech at GamesCon. And now they're showing us more awesome stuff that we can't have for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a little frustrating in that sense, but it is exciting to see the new stuff coming, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean they basically showed their plans via bullet points all the way to Star Citizen 4.0.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's quite a ways away from today, right?
Yeah, about a year out.
Because you guys are expecting 2.6.
Yeah,
Soon.
Jeez.
Yeah.
and then hopefully they were saying 3.0 by the end of the year, but it's probably going to be a little later than that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave a lot of things to look forward to, but I mean the waiting is kind of. Sometimes you want people not to tell you what to look forward to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd rather hear, oh, this is coming out in a month, as opposed to, when it's done 3 years from now or whatever. There's been a lot of that in video games, just like saying, like, here's our great idea, like Hideo Kojima. And he's like, here's my idea for a game, expect it in 2019. I'm like, oh.
Just hold on it, guy.
Smalls.
Yeah.
That's why Elite Dangerous is pretty cool, I think, because they actually released the game, and as it progresses, they're actually adding all these.
Every time we talk about
Thanks
Star
to
Citizen, Jose tries to slip in Elite Dangerous.
Because I love that game, man.
So you love ED?
I do.
I think you're being paid off by the Elite Dangerous people.
I'll
ED
never
super
talk.
back.
I'll never talk, damn it.
Something I noticed, and again, this isn't a criticism, just an observation, because I actually like iteration, so this isn't a bad thing, is that everything I saw in the demo today that they played, I could see the roots of those things in other games. Like, there was like the Halo moment when he was in the sort of, what I called the Warthog, whatever that vehicle is really called.
Rover.
Yeah.
And he had a gun that was very reminiscent of Halo 2, and they had kind of Halo voices, singers in the background, and I was like, wow, that's very reminiscent. And then there was
I think you're talking about the soundtrack, right?
Right, the soundtrack.
Okay.
And then you had the Dune sandworms situation.
The
Megan
Sand Nomads.
Yeah, the Sand Nomads, which was a lot
They
like
march in single file to hide their numbers.
and also the Nomads were reminiscent of the Star Wars Sand people, it seemed like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that
It's
one.
the culmination of all our sci-fi culture.
Yeah. Which
All they were missing was the red coat.
Now, personally, I'm totally fine with it, especially if it plays well. But where I thought it kind of conflicted with what they were saying is before they showed the demo, there was a lot of speak about thinking bigger and big and huge and just going well beyond expectation. And then when I see this demo, I see an incredible game, no loading screens, probably everything everybody wanted from No Man's Sky that No Man's Sky wasn't. So all this good stuff I can say, but ultimately it felt like iterative as far as each piece, every item in it. which I thought, from an outsider's perspective, that's what I saw.
I feel like Star Citizen is very much an evolution and not a revolution.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the pinnacle of all our stuff.
Yeah, and to be fair to it, to play devil's advocate with myself here, is that ultimately Star Citizen is about the long con, right? It's the long game.
Yeah.
It's about Star Citizen wants to be around for 10 years, and whatever it is in 2026 is probably going to be quite different than it is today, right? And quite expensive by comparison. So maybe what we're seeing are still the seeds of what it could be.
It's the building blocks,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So okay. So obviously I don't know Jack because I'm not a big enough fan, but Chris, I've got you in the room.
I don't know Jack.
So tell me the significance of, like, for example, the Polaris. There was a lot of talk of this Polaris ship, right?
The Polaris, people are pretty excited about that for a number of reasons. One is a lot of people want a ship that can carry another ship around.
Oh, okay.
And we've got a couple already. The Connie has a little parasite fighter. People have crammed the Merlins into the Starfarer. You kind of have to break them a little bit to do it.
Okay.
Nice.
But the Polaris is really designed for launching like a fighter properly. It has a little hangar and it can rearm and refuel according to them.
Yeah.
And so, but it's not as large as the frigates. So a couple of friends could theoretically run one.
Okay. So it's like a medium-sized ship carrier.
Yeah, in that sense. I mean, really, it's pretty big. They have it at 155 meters so far.
Jeez.
So it's pretty large. But
I didn't realize that because looking at the art they have of it, it looks like a speedy ship, not a cargo ship.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's pretty good size. It's bigger than anything that's flyable right now.
Okay. Another thing I noticed him talking about a lot, and I think some things were.
Picture. Let me put that up.
Okay, yeah, throw that picture up. There it is. There I am.
So, yeah, and that's the hangar right on top there.
Looks so
Opens up.
speedy.
It does, yeah.
Something they were talking about a lot that I was interested in hearing more about or seeing in video is this whole Squadron 42 thing. So this is their single player campaign, I understand?
Single player campaign. Let's see, I actually wrote some of that.
See,
down.
that's what I
It's
need
fairly
to become a
impressive.
Star Citizen fan. I need single player stuff.
So it's in 28 chapters with over 60 missions.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's pretty big.
Okay.
That is pretty.
And they have
big,
some serious A-list talent. I think it was Gillian Anderson
Okay.
from X-Files fame.
Getting all the
Nice.
all the
Gary-
nerds'
yeah.
favorite people.
Gary Oldman, Mark Hamill.
Okay.
So Mr. Skywalker himself.
Nice.
If only we could get who is Picard? Who played Picard?
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I need to get Patrick Stewart on there, and then it's seal the deal.
Maybe
That's
it's just
it.
a surprise.
next CitizenCon.
Yeah.
Oh man.
After they spend 2 hours thanking everybody, they could show off Picard.
You're just mad because they didn't thank you.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, but Squadron 42, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty interesting. I think they showed a demo previously, or at least first person or third person over the shoulder kind of gameplay action. It looks really, really fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, the story is going to be very interesting because you kind of need that in a game like this that's just open world, and maybe not everybody's going to be into that, you know?
Yeah.
So-
And basically, the open world launches from where your character leaves off after you finish the story.
Okay.
Nice.
So thinking ahead, they announced in the various 3-point whatever Star Citizens that there would be repair and salvage systems and
Yeah.
also farming and rescue systems. I was wondering if you
Yeah.
have anything to tell us about that, Chris.
There's been, so we got, let me look at the different things coming up here. So we have trading coming with 3.0, which
Okay.
is fairly straightforward.
Is that ship trading or
Yeah.
resource trading?
Resources, you pick them up, load up cargo, take it, drop it off, sell it, and make some money.
That'd be cool.
Transport, which will also include smuggling. So it'll be interesting to see how they implement that.
Yeah.
So are you going to get boarded and inspected?
Yeah.
And 3.1, we get mining and refueling. And they've really talked about trying to work to make mining its own little mini game. And the better you
Is
are
it when
at
you?
it.
Is it maybe a mini game where you shoot satellites into the planet that you find with a radio frequency?
No, I don't think it's quite that.
It's not Mass
I don't
Effect
think
2?
No.
Okay.
It's like you have to control the arm and the mining or the drilling laser, and if you hit a pocket of gas, you can blow up your whole ship.
That's pretty
So
cool.
you
yeah.
actually have to be careful and pay attention while you do it. It's not just like a press X to mine kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Nice.
And then 3.2, we get repair and salvage. So that's basically what I should probably end up doing. Space, what's his name? Mater. Flying around with my tow truck in space.
Yeah. They made a big deal about implementing new community systems within the game itself.
Yep.
So they're finally catching up with having audio between teams. You know, so
Yeah,
you can talk to each
exactly.
other.
Well, supposedly the audio is going to be continually running, right? So it's going to be if you're in the game and then all of a sudden it crashes or something, you're still hooked up through the
So
audio.
you can
with
swear
your
to your friends
yeah,
because your
you can
game
be like,
crashed?
hey guys, my game crashed.
Spectrum is what it's called.
Spectrum.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so then you'll be able to let them know that you're coming back on, but whatever. So
It
I want
also
to know
has
when
a
they're
rich
going to
chat
integrate
system.
Patreon into the game so you can give them money while you play. Because I hate having to turn a game off to give them more money. That's just the worst.
The Spectrum will have the rich chat system that looks a lot like Facebook Messenger, if I'm being honest here. You can send emojis at your friends while you're...
It's called Spacebook.
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Oh man.
Okay, so I mean, I think one of the surprises, again, me not knowing a whole lot about it, but I was surprised to see that without 3.0 being out, them talking about 4.0.
Right.
It almost seems like you're shooting yourself in the foot with your own hype, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, I mean, this is just what's scheduled.
yeah. What was the biggest thing for 4.0 they mentioned? Did you catch anything for the 4.0?
Being able to go between multiple systems.
Okay.
So, and then exploration is supposed to come in.
Okay.
So.
And then I noticed that on each patch or 3.0 and going forward to 4.0, each one would have additional solar systems added to it. So it seems like they're kind of expanding that even more, like the universe, at least.
Now, Chris, I'm curious. Do you? This is projecting forward. Do you ever think that they will create some kind of ship crafting system where you can design your own ship?
I really hope so, because I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because it could be really screwy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, though, because just looking at the ships are each manufactured by a different company within the universe. So
Plus, they seem to make a lot of money from their ships.
Yeah,
So they would have to somehow figure out a way to make money from people trading their ships.
And they're introducing a lot of modularity,
Hmm.
so you can customize different ships.
Yeah.
So that might hold those of us who like to build our stuff over.
Yeah.
or customize.
As long as
it,
I can
right?
put racing stripes on my ship, right?
Yeah, exactly. Makes
Yeah.
it go faster.
Nice.
Space racing stripes. You gotta say space before everything.
Chris, I'll let you have the final say on this. What's the coming away from this? What do you feel best about?
What do I feel best about? I just can't wait for the continuous flying straight from the space station down to the planet. While all those people are running around like ants. Maybe
Yeah.
drop a few torpedoes on them. I mean, I wouldn't, but
When you're playing this game, how often do you actually run into people randomly?
all the time.
Oh, okay.
Because right now there aren't that many places to go.
Okay.
So, but I mean, that'll be one of the questions really once it's opened up.
Yeah.
You know, how often do you actually run into people, depending on how big?
Well,
it
I
is
mean,
and how many
Sean
people are
Murphy
playing.
says it's impossible.
Right.
Mathematically, it's never
Right.
going to happen.
That's funny. Well, I mean, maybe they implement something like I don't know, like Destiny, where they have like these events, community events or whatever, and have people kind of come in and
Yeah.
interact together. I think that would probably
Those will be places everyone
yeah.
congregates.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
bars and the whatnots, the stations.
exactly.
You always
yeah,
run
so-
into people at the gas station. So
Mm.
Nice. So that'd be pretty cool. I think it would be even better if they added something where like the community can come up with an event within the game, I guess. So
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Facebook.
Well, that was pretty interesting. It took them 3+ hours to talk about it, but it was pretty interesting. Let's
Thank you, community,
Yeah. Thank you, community. You're the best community ever.
I know we are.
for an hour and a half.
If
So-
you guys had contributed, you would have been able to lavish and all of that.
I should have. Damn it.
Well, I mean, their community is worth $132 million.
Oh,
So
man.
Yeah. I guess some thanks are in order. So Jose, why don't you kick us off with the other news we have planned for today? We want to talk about.
Okay, so I came upon a news article on PC Gamer about Final Fantasy 15 maybe coming to the PC, right? It isn't for sure, but they're saying if it does come to the PC, it'll be within the next year. And then also that...
I'm gonna make a prediction though. If it makes it to the PC, it won't look any better than it does on the console.
Actually,
Squaresoft is not good at that.
Actually, they said that if it does come out, it'll be delayed because they're going to make it better. than what's on the console. So if you're a PC gamer, that's pretty cool news.
Squaresoft does not have good history with this.
Well, we'll see.
Or Square Enix, excuse me, Square Enix.
So yeah, that's kind of like the news that I got, and I'm pretty excited about.
Is it worth waiting then?
I might. I just might. But I mean, I need confirmation. So I mean, if I do get that confirmation that it is coming for PC, I might just wait for it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'll even play it. Period.
Huh.
I dropped out of Final Fantasy after Final Fantasy X, and they've really not talked to me back. I played Final Fantasy 13 for about 3 hours and just realized this is not going to work out. And I remember all the people like, no, man, you got to get 30 hours in. Everything opens up in 30 hours. You freaking serious right now?
Yeah.
You're telling me I got to push through 30 hours?
That's an average game right there, right?
Yeah,
Jeez, man.
Yeah, so no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, we're not doing a whole lot of news because we were just thinking about Star Citizen, but I wanted to make mention that PlayStation VR is being reviewed this week, and it's getting a warm reception. Looking over the Metacritic scores, the bulk of the scores are in the 8 to 8.5 or 80 to 85 out of 100 range, which is solid. I mean, it's not stellar, but consoles tend to not get stellar reviews. They find something to complain about.
Plus, it's the cheaper alternative to the Vive and the Oculus, right?
Yeah, well, the Vive, which is the real alternative, and the Oculus, which is just sort of philandering somewhere in the middle, not knowing what its identity is. But which is funny because we have Oculus Rift to thank for this whole generation of VR, and yet they're the ones that don't seem to have their footing now.
Exactly.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the critics that I read, the common pros and cons is obviously that the screen is not as crisp as the Vive. Although it's not as terrible as you would think. They said that Sony did a really good job of shrinking the lines between pixels so you don't see that webbing, and so apparently it looks very good in that regard. But not as crisp as the Vive.
Okay.
I mean, I think the screen is nearly half the resolution of the Vive, and but some people have also said that it's far more comfortable than the competition to actually wear on your head, which is important when you got something on your head for hours, right? And
it's like a bunch of poor people critiquing different kinds of caviar.
You got a weak neck. This is good for you.
None of us have tried any of these, but I hear this is the best one.
Oh man! Shut up, Chris.
It seems like with just a few exceptions, it doesn't have any killer apps. So it's got the Batman VR game, which is supposed to be a really solid 90 minutes of fun.
I want to play Batman VR.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and people keep saying they don't want to spoil it, but it's awesome.
Okay.
And I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. Also, it's got this one game that if you were going to put it in a genre, you'd put it in the Tetris genre. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically you have a wall coming at you, and there's a hole in the wall, and you have an object in space. And you have to turn the object to figure out how it will fit into the wall. And as you go through the levels, the object keeps getting bigger and more complicated. And the whole point of the VR is you have to kind of look around the object to figure out which way to turn it.
How do I get this pumpkin in there?
Right. So apparently that one's a lot of fun. Has a good repetitive cycle to it. It's really satisfying every time you figure it out.
I want to play Cluster Truck in VR.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. They
have a trash can next to you for all the barfing you're gonna do, man.
Dude, I am loving Cluster Truck, by the way. That's the game we played this week.
Cluster Truck in VR with the treadmill.
Oh my gosh, dude. Jeez.
I want a video of you doing that.
Oh, that would be great.
I'd probably fall.
Way to drive our views up.
Oh man, that would be great.
Yeah. The PlayStation VR, of course, is as cheap as $400, but as expensive as $500 if you need to get the camera and the controllers if you don't already have them, which most people don't. Most people don't have the camera or the controllers. So
is it going to be compatible with the next generation of PlayStation?
It better be.
Yeah, that would really suck. Drop $400 now.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. I think, of course, it depends on how long that next generation is, right?
Yeah.
Because with the PS4, if the PS4 Pro sells really well, it's going to push the next generation back for PlayStation. If it sells mediocre, then it's going to push that generation forward, right? Because they always respond to sales, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why the PS3 and the Xbox 360 had a 7-year lifespan.
Yeah,
It's because they were
still selling.
strong in sales right up until the end.
All right.
So it all depends on how. So if you want PS5, don't buy a PS4 Pro. That's how that works.
Way to sell it, man. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm not getting a PS4 then.
I'm not getting an endorsement.
Right? Oh, man.
Well, let's wrap this up by talking about upcoming releases.
Okay.
And there's no good sales this week, right? Nothing that was worth.
Well, Humble Bundle has a sale for Company of Heroes. They got the first one and the second one, I believe. It's an anniversary bundle. So if you pay $10, you can get Company of Heroes 1, 2. I'm guessing the expansions as well. It seems that way. And then let me see at the very bottom.
There's a ton of content in there.
Yeah, and then if you pay $30 or more, you get a cool shirt as well.
So don't go for that one. Who cares?
Yeah.
And
So
this week, it's
Some of
like
us need shirts.
it's like for $10 you get an incredible amount of games and content. Up it by 3 times. Get a shirt.
Yeah, so if you pay $10 right now, you definitely get a lot of content. Like I said, Company of Heroes 1 and 2, and you get all the DLC, it seems like. So, yeah, it's a pretty good deal, I think.
Yeah, also, there are some... recently, PlayStation Plus went up for American subscribers. It went up to what it is for the games with gold. Or whatever... What's the Xbox?
Xbox Live.
Xbox Live. It went, so now they're the same price. But this week you can buy PS Plus for $10 off. So if you want the old price,
nice.
that's something to jump on.
Also, I wanted to add that if you're looking to upgrade your graphics card on your PC, if you get a 1070 or 1080, you get a Gears of War.
You're talking about not Radeon, but the other NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get one of those, the 1070 or the 1080, you get a free code to get Gears of War 4
Nice.
for your PC. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good incentive.
yeah, for sure.
So not only do you get a great video card, but you get the game you want to play with a great video card. Right?
Exactly,
That's very smart business.
So yeah, it's really cool. So if you're into business, I know I got one from Micro Center. So if you're really interested, check them out. But you can also go to NVIDIA, and they have that promotion on their website as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Upcoming releases. I'll start us off. Chris, remember the PC stuff, but I've got coming out on PS4 in the next couple weeks. Obviously, all the VR games, including if I had the PSVR, one of the games I'd definitely jump on is Super Stardust Ultra. That's always been a PlayStation exclusive. It's downloadable. It's a shmup, a shoot 'em up.
Okay.
And it's very satisfying shoot 'em up, and it's erratic and crazy and all the right things, and it's all about racking up points.
Nice.
And so I guess there's a VR version of that coming out. Talk about throwing up. I wonder how that's going to be. Also, for the PlayStation owners, WWE 2K17 is finally... WWE, right? I said that? 2K17 is coming out finally for us. And Rise of the Tomb Raider, the 20-year celebration, which is just the Game of the Year edition of Rise of the Tomb Raider, essentially.
Yeah.
That's coming out on October 11th, along with Metal Gear Solid 5, The Definitive Experience, Duke Nukem 3D... Duke Nukem. 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour, which you shouldn't play because you should be playing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Definitive Experience instead. And Payday 2, The Big Score, also on that day. That's interesting. And I should mention on the PSVR, another one of their, I don't want to call it a killer app, but maybe worth playing is the Drive Club VR, which is Drive Club was a very well received, not at first because it had some glitches, but after a month or so, once they clean it up, Drive Club is apparently a very excellent driving game.
Nice.
And it's got a VR version, and also in the VR space is sort of a side story to Until Dawn, which was a really excellent Telltale style horror game where you kind of play a teen slasher film.
Okay.
And your decisions decide who wins or who lives or dies through the night.
Yeah.
And
nice.
so they've got an on-rails VR game that's not awesome apparently, but still worth a playthrough.
So you should get it, right? The VR.
If you got a PSVR, you should, yeah, because that would be because that's a first party game for
Oh, okay.
PlayStation, so it's not going to be on Oculus or Vive or anything like that.
Very
Same thing
cool.
with Drive Club. It's a first party PlayStation game, so it's only available on the PSVR.
All right, nice, good
Yeah.
stuff.
How about the 360?
Well, the Xbox One, you mean?
That's what I meant. The Xbox One. Sorry, we were just talking about the 360.
The Xbox One is getting Gears of War 4 this Tuesday, the 11th.
It's the Sun and Bro game.
And then I don't know what this is, but Rise of the Tomb Raider Blood Ties, that seems pretty
The
interesting.
DLC, I believe.
Probably, yeah. Payday 2, The Big Score, coming on the Xbox One. That seems interesting, but I don't know about it. Solitaire, come on, guys.
Got to play some Solitaire for those lonely people.
And then we got Battlefield 1. We also got, Farming Simulator 17, October 25. That's pretty cool. There's actually a big
People love
crowd
those
for
sim
that
games.
Yeah, exactly, man. So
I watched some Let's Plays just to find out what it's like, and I was like, oh my gosh, how can you possibly play this? But people love them.
yeah.
Wow.
And then Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is coming out also on the 25th of this month. That looks... I have a friend that played it, and it really is a lot of fun, it seems like. So
I can't wait to get down to some Just Dance 2017.
And then for the 3DS, let me see. We got Disney Magical World 2 coming out. That's, if you got a kid, I guess. That'd be pretty fun.
Jose insisted on covering the 3DS, and this is what he's got to talk about.
Mario Party Star Rush is coming out as well. Hey, it's a good game. And then last one I want to talk about is Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out November 18th. So, yeah,
Okay.
check it out.
And people like those Pokemons.
They do.
The Pokemon.
The Pokemon.
I hear kids like that.
And adults, too. On
Anything on the PC world?
PC, what do we got? Duke Nukem, also. Metal Gear Solid 5, also. Gears of War 4, also. This is what happens when I go last.
We need to let you go
We'll
first
start you
a few
first, yeah.
times.
Sid Meier's Civilization 6 for Jose.
Yes.
And Battlefield 1, also.
That'll be fun, too.
So that's the next week and a half, 2 weeks-ish.
Cool.
PC.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you like this video, please share and like and subscribe and all that. It's really helpful, and we'd love to see this podcast. Just we're not looking for buku bucks. We don't want Star Citizen money, but to get a high five every once in a while would be great. To be able to hug our one fan whenever we get that one fan would be awesome.
Yeah. And we'll do an hour-long just thank you to the community after that.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to be able to do an hour-long thank you to the community. That'd be perfect. So also you can find us on Facebook. Obviously, you're probably watching this on YouTube, but we're there as well. And on Twitter. Go to the description to find all those links. Thanks so much.
Thank you.